Welcome back to AF9 Deep Truth Files. They call me Ancient. Now today we're going to be running up into some other videos as well. Mix things just to see what's going on. How these people are trying to just screw us over, man. Every chance they get. Take a look at this one.
So this is exactly what they mean by you will own nothing and be happy. Y'all, do you know that car companies are now charging a monthly subscription fee in order for you to use basic amenities that come with your car? Things such as navigations, heated seats, and push to start. I'm not kidding, y'all. It all started with Mazda and Toyota, and now Hyundai, GMC, and all these other car companies have joined as well too. By 2028, they're all going to be charging subscription fees.
I'm literally sitting in my car waiting on it to warm up. Oh, you don't have push to start? Actually, I do, but I can't use my push to start. After 3 years of using it, I literally can't use it unless I pay for the My Mazda app, which I knew nothing about. I went online, and apparently after a 3-year trial, you have to start paying for the My Mazda app. And it's $10 a month. I'm not going to put all my business out there, but my car note is upwards of $600. So you're telling me that y'all can't get that $10 a month out of that $600, and you want me to pay extra money to warm my car up? Or cool my car down to use the push to start feature that I have on my car that's already there, that has already been paid for, should have already been paid for, but you want more money.
We're being actually fleeced by companies. The last 2 cars that I owned had remote start capabilities from my remote. It was something that came with the car. I never had to continue paying extra for it. We got a used Toyota Sienna this year. It's 2021. And I asked about remote start and they're like, yeah, you can do it. And I was like, great, show me how to do it from my key. And they're like, no, not that way. You're going to download our Toyota app and you're going to pay $10 a month so that you can remote start your car. No. This is the part I love technology. And then I'm also like, this is screwing us because they are starting to be able to charge us more for things that used to just come with a car.
I think TikTok's about people being mad that they have to pay for a subscription.
You know what's happening? They figured that out. They figured the cheat code, meaning that, you see, for convenience, it can be used as a marketing tactic just to squeeze more out of you. It's just like, even convenience is potentially allegedly one of the biggest scams out there, because like even with supermarkets, back in the days we used to we grow what we eat. Now they dictate what food you eat, how much it costs, when it's available, and everything like that. When we knew that when we plant our stuff, no one controls our food, but control the food to control nature, but control the society. I mean, but now because of convenience, we have to go to the stores and to get it, because just right there you can just run and go get it right there, because we're lazy, innit? So that's what happens. And now, because of like the basic stuff, like, you know what, there were cars back in the day that didn't have no heated seat, they didn't have no push to start, they didn't have no remote start. Walk up to the car, push the sit in, do normal shipment, turn the key, it starts. But because of these, they present all of these unnecessary things that's a so-called luxury to make your life seems a lot more easier, and then they charge you for it, and now you're complaining about. But I get it, what it was coming from, because it's just like, even when you go back even to music as well. Look at back in the day, you used to own your CD, your cassettes, and then it was MP3. Now MP3 moved to streaming. Now, because of streaming, your music is in the cloud. You don't even know where the hell the cloud is. And now you got to pay to access that. So when you even go online and they're selling you an album and you buy that album, the album stays in your online profile. It doesn't go onto your device where you can actually own it. So what you're buying like an unlimited or potential limited access to that file to listen to it, and then you get paid from streaming. But then they trick you and say you own it. You don't own it, because at the same time they can go into that file and edit it at how many times they feel like. You're paying a monthly subscription, whether it's for Apple or YouTube Music, and you download that album because you're already paying for the streaming. They can remove that song at any given time. But if you have the CD, that is ownership. So to keep the care, the maintenance of the CD is all up to you. But because it's more convenient for you to say, no, it's in the cloud, it's all right, they can charge you.
to be able to use features of their car, like starting your car, locking, unlocking, like seeing all the things on the app. And when I first got my old car, they gave me 3 free years of that service of the Mazda app. And I was like, okay, cool. But I don't think that my dad's going to keep paying for that service just so that I can start my car in the winter. So when we went shopping for my new car, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm going to get another 3 years of this because I'm going to get a new car. So it's going to come with 3 more years of service. And when I got my car, they told me that I only have 1 year of it. Subscriptions are literally going to end at the same time. It didn't even do me any good. And I think that's insane because not only are they charging for a feature that should be free because it came with the car, but they're also cheating you out of what they originally said that they would give.
These companies are so fucking greedy. And it's crazy that things like this are allowed, right? So the first I heard of it was Hyundai and Toyota, to where you have to pay a subscription fee to be able to utilize the things in your vehicle that you purchased along with the vehicle, like the radio, the navigation. Even if you're using navigation from your phone, playing from CarPlay or Google Play, you have to pay a monthly fee. And now you hear GM, Ford, the rest of the manufacturers are getting on board with this by 2028. That's some bullshit. I don't want a new car. I just don't want a new car now. Because you mean to tell me, even if I come to you and I purchase my vehicle cash, I buy a brand new car cash, I have to still pay you monthly for the life of this vehicle to use my own phone to listen to music or use my now.
Yo, these people are some legal crooks. That's like buying a house and still charging the person rent. Like, how? How are you allowed to get away with this?
Navigation that I already pay a phone bill for. This shit is asinine.
Everything's a subscription nowadays, so it shouldn't be too surprising that cars are now wanting a subscription as well. And after a year, Toyota expires some of the vehicle functions. So what are those functions? Well, probably the biggest thing that expires after a year is remote start via the Toyota app. So you used to be able to, from anywhere, open the app and remote start your vehicle to get it cooled down. That's no longer.
Because really, the stars are in alignment. The stars are in alignment, but the calendar is not. Calendar comes from the word calend, which is taxes. We know the state of our people fucked up. And when you get somebody that has been celebrated by pop culture that really comes to tell the people the truth, they laugh and kiki like this shit funny. The new year can't be in January at the deadest time of the year. The new year is right now when the sun rises. That's why the allegory of the resurrection was talking about God.
He's talking about the New Year's. If you can research it yourself, it's around April, late March, early April, spring.
God's sun, not S-O-N, the S-U-N, resurrecting. The sun is rising again. This is the new year in the spring. It's springing into a new year. There's really 10 months in a year. This is a Roman Gregorian calendar that we've been on.
Hold up. We need to fact check that when he said there's 10 months. Let's see what else we're going to have to look into.
Your dad planted his seed in your mother. 9 to 10 months is full term. You got here. How can your birthday be every 12 months if it only took you 10 months to get here? You have a guy named Julius Caesar and Caesar Augustus. They added their own months to the calendar year.
Yeah, I hear that when he said about added their own months to the year. But what we're going to look at right now is one of the comments. Now, this post got quite a lot of comments as well. So one of them said it's actually 13 months and 13 months, and each month is supposed to be 28 days. The missing month is Sol. More comments. That's why women have 13 cycles a year, every 28 days. But because we're operating under a 12-month calendar, it seems like we're getting a cycle twice in 1 month. Yes, because I'm off 21 days and be on 7 days like clockwork. Our menstrual cycle synchronized with specific phases of the moon, either full or new moon every 28 days. So give and take with that still, because the body is a part of nature and follows with nature as well. So we're going to see.
How can your birthday be every 12 months if it only took you 10 months to get here? You have a guy named Julius Caesar and Caesar Augustus. They added their own months to the calendar year. Yeah. July and August. That's why everything Sept is usually 7, but September's 9. Everything octagon, octopus is 8. Why is October the 10th month? Everything Nueve, Nuevo, Nino is 9. Why is November 11? Decimal's 10. How can December be the 12th? because they added too much to the year. That's why everybody's algorithm is out of order. That's why we can't get in alignment. Well, they can't get in alignment to their assignment because they're not in alignment to nature.
Beginning, beauty marks were not called beauty marks. Of course, they were called signs. From every culture that thinks differently about beauty marks, is all very similar. In China, face reading was a thing where they said anywhere you were marked, that's where power and energy enters the body the most. In India, it said it was linked to reincarnation, past lives. In Africa, it said this is a cosmic sign on the body of ancestral memory. In Middle Europe, it says these people are to be feared. They feared them because anything marked means you were touched by the unseen. Now, modern day language calling things just beauty mark, that's just a way to get rid of ancient knowledge. Modern day language does very well at burying ancient knowledge in everything that they say. And if you are marked, you are swelling with power. Stay tuned for the video of people that have multiple markings, at least more than 4.
Movie on Prime, I'm gonna pin it right here, called Multiverse, that sent me down a rabbit hole, literally had my brain so it basically went into how alternate realities are very similar to what we got going on right now, where our consciousness is, but a little bit off, and it just... So with that being said, let's do some diving into the multiverse.
Now this is a story.
So there's a real theory in physics that says the universe splits every time a decision is made. Like if you almost text someone and didn't, there's a universe where you sent the text. Like if you was driving and you made a left instead of a right, in some other universe, you made a right or you kept going straight. But it gets worse. Some scientists don't think that the universe splits just because of your choices. They think it's because quantum events. And that basically means reality can't decide, so it basically chooses everything. That would mean there's versions of you who made completely different life decisions, versions of you that don't have the same friend groups you have, even versions of you that ended up in a place that you've never been. The scariest part about it is they're not alternate timelines. They're all happening right now. Like as you're watching this, another version of you is probably not. We just can't see them. But here's what messed me up the most. If this theory is real, then you've actually never missed out on anything because every what if already exists somewhere. So, do you think the multiverse is real, or do you think this is science trying to explain how unreal reality already feels?
Who knows? We know about the multiverse theories and parallel universe and everything that's happening at the same time. The past, present, future, everything is happening at the same time. We know about that. Who knows? Leave your comment if you got anything else to say on this.
How easy it is to create a truth out of thin air. So if I took 35 people into the jungle and told them all that from this point onwards, long fingernails means you're chosen by the ancestors, right? And everyone agrees to teach their kids that. Give it 3, maybe 4 generations, and suddenly my made-up rule is reality. And that's not even because it's real or anything. It just got repeated, socially enforced, and agreed upon. Now, imagine a kid turns around and goes, wait, what if long fingernails actually means nothing? They're not even going against some deep universal truth. All they're doing is challenging a script that everyone's identity is wrapped around. So obviously what's going to happen? They'll get shunned, they'll get punished, they'll get called disrespectful. Why? Because questioning it shakes the whole group. Now let's pause just for a second and replace long fingernails make you chosen with beauty standards, age expectations, marriage pressure, religious beliefs, gender roles, success timelines. The list could go on. My point is, it's the same mechanism every single time. A group of people made something up, repeated it, enforced it, and everyone born after just downloaded it unconsciously. And the crazy part is people act like the original rule makers were, I don't know, wiser or more divine or more in touch with the universe or more time. No, they were just the first ones that were confident enough to say, this is how we're doing things from now. And everyone else just followed along because humans love familiarity. And once you actually see this, everything else just starts sounding so ridiculous because what do you mean behind? According to who? What do you mean ugly? According to who? Even down to people telling me where I'm supposedly going when I die. I'm sorry, but according to who?
cardinal person have been there and come back and tell you everything that's going on. So I understand where you're coming from in regards to this. But yeah, with a structure like that, they don't like anyone who's different. That's like in a movie like Divergent. Anyone who questions how it is set up, how it is structured from the social norm, the social expectations, and the social pressure. They tell you even what the so-called the dream should be, the house, the car, and the picket fence. And if I don't want any of the above, come to the land of milk and honey. What if I'm lactose intolerant? I don't want no milk. I don't want no honey. You got anything else up there? There's other things that I like, but you're telling me that I should like. Yeah, I hear where you're coming from. Now, this video is controversial still. Let me know what you think, what your views are.
The theory says that you'll never experience your own death, not even once, because your consciousness keeps jumping to the timeline where you survive, no matter what. In my previous video, y'all kept talking about quantum immortality, so I figured let's go down the rabbit hole on this and take a deep dive.
Now this is a story.
It starts with something in physics called the many-world interpretation, which basically means that every moment reality splits. One version when something happens, and then another one where it doesn't, and infinite timelines in between. Now here's where the rabbit hole gets crazy. Quantum immortality says that your consciousness only stays alive in the branches of reality where you're alive. And then the versions of reality where you died, you never get to experience that. So instead, you slide into the timeline where you barely survive, like where the car almost hit you, or like the bullet skimmed you, or somebody found you just in time. From everybody else's perspective, it might look like a miracle, but for real what it is your conscious choosing not to go to a branch of the timeline where you don't exist. The crazy part is everybody else from their timeline might see you pass in that timeline, but not in the one that you move over to. The theory says that your luck isn't luck at all. Your close calls aren't coincidences, and your survival isn't random. It's actually the universe rerouting you. The creepiest part though is that in your awareness, you're basically unpassable, because no matter what, you'll always shift into the version of reality where you made it through it, even if you know you shouldn't have, and it don't make no kind of sense. And people who believe this say that's why NDEs feel so surreal. They talk about weird changes after close calls, memories that don't match other people's memories, small details in their life that are suddenly different, and that heavy deja vu that follows. And according to this theory, it never stops. So as you get older, your consciousness keeps choosing to live over and over and over again. So everybody around you might see their own version of events, but you never get to witness the end. You just keep waking up in another branch of reality. It's a strange kind of immortality, one you didn't ask for, but one you can't escape. Do you think you've ever slipped into another timeline and didn't realize it?
I'm just asking a question. So was there a timeline that I wasn't born? I didn't decide to get born? And maybe it's a timeline that I didn't want to be, I wasn't born a boy, I was born a girl, or I wasn't born a girl, I was born a boy. Like, so many questions.
Dating with God. We are one with source. I don't care what anybody says, and I'm going to tell you why. I just read a study on campus, and I have to talk about this because this is so important. Some of you have heard of the study with cats. The cats were from birth raised in dark black rooms, but for a few hours a day, they took two groups of cats and separated them. One group of cats was put in a room for a few hours with horizontal lines, and the other group of cats was put into rooms with vertical lines. The group of cats, as they were raised and they were exposed to real world, they were led into the real world. The group of cats that were exposed to the vertical lines could not see horizontal lines. So objects, horizontal objects, okay? So what this means is the vertical objects they could see, but they would not be able to perch themselves up on couches or tables or anything horizontal because they quite literally couldn't see it. Vice versa, the cats that were exposed to the horizontal lines were running into table legs and they were hitting vertical objects because they could not see it even though it was there. This is us. This is what's happening to us. This is what has happened to all of us. I need somebody to fucking hear this. When we are raised, we are like a sponge from 0 to 7. We're 0 to 7. We're absorbing everything within us, okay? All of it's being pushed inside of us. Ages 7 to 12, it's a little more, the windows are closing, things are shutting. By the age of 13, 14, we're done. Whatever has been programmed in us is essentially what's there, aside from traumas, heavy repetition, emotion. This is great news because our brains are malleable, which means we can change this. But it takes work, it takes time. But if you were exposed to an environment that talked poorly about money, that had a bad relationship with money, you quite literally will only see that outside of you because that's what's being filtered outside of you because that's what you were raised in. Holy shit. This is why I talk about, like when I talk about affirmations, my one buddy went in depth on this, but when you can say, if you say, I am rich, I am whatever, 1,000,000 times a day, your brain can logically counter that and say, no, you're not because you don't have evidence for it. But the moment that you can continuously say, why does money keep showing up for me? Why do opportunities keep presenting themselves to me? Why? And you ask it that way, your reticular activating system begins to filter itself so that you can start to see it. Motherfucker. This has been in front of my face for years. I've been setting
Ask and you shall receive. Why? Why?
For years. And this is what I mean by consciousness. You won't see it if you're not there. That's why you can't push it on people. It makes fucking sense because if a person wasn't raised to see it, they have no idea it's there. Oh my God, you guys, I have to start talking about this tomorrow. I'm going to start breaking down the amygdala, the basal ganglia, the prefrontal cortex, because these things like fear, the amygdala, it starts shooting off, bam, bam, bam. And we think it's a bad thing, but growth on the other side of fear is an amazing thing because then when we can take a moment of pause and we can name our fear and we can look at our fear, that kicks in our prefrontal cortex and it quiets the amygdala. And it doesn't mean that the fear is gone. It just means that we can look at it from a different perspective. Bitch, I'm shitting myself. Oh my gosh. We are creating our realities with God. I don't care what anybody says. Holy shit.
Yeah, we do create our own reality, but we're getting back there. Okay, so this is another set of videos from AF9 Deep Truth Files. They call me Ancient. Tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's see, man. Catch me again. I'm gonna drop in some more videos.